Good evening, team. Hello. Test my audio.
Hey, Rich.
Hello. Yep, we can hear you.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dennis.
They all.
Good, good.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Really.
No, not at all.
Perfect.
Nice background, Beth.
Thanks.
Very familiar artwork to me. Good advertising.
It's an old shot.
Yeah.
I've
Was that
added,
Veronica?
Hmm?
Is that a Veronica or a Hasselblad?
it's a Hussey on the,
Hasselblad.
yeah, on the, that's the one that I actually shot this with. Because I set everything up next to me and then I put a mirror, like, I don't know, probably about 8 feet away, something like that.
Yeah.
And lit all the cameras and everything, and then
Yeah.
just took the picture reflected. So then flipped it when I printed.
Looked like a really young Beth there.
Yeah, that's probably somewhere's around 01.
Oh, okay. Well,
01
okay.
or 02.
21
So
years ago. Okay.
yeah, it's like 20 years ago. And I've probably doubled my camera collection since then.
I have right behind me, a few feet away, a 250 millimeter planar for a Hasselblad.
Oh, really?
When was the last time you saw one of those? Did you ever use one?
I have the 80 for mine and that's it. So
Yeah. Oh, you still have one?
yeah,
you
I still have it, but I never use it.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah, the 120 backs or 120 or 220 backs on it.
I have 2 120 backs for it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it works well. And I don't think there's a lens out there that's any sharper than it is, but
No, I
the
agree.
camera and I just never really clicked together. And I don't have the prism finder. I have the, so you have to look down in. So if you move the camera to the left,
Yeah, it goes the other way.
moves to the right,
Yeah.
but it's not upside down. For
Yeah.
some reason, the 4x5 being completely rotated is no problem. I can move that wherever I need to, but I don't know. The Hussey just doesn't, I don't know. It's not intuitive.
I have a prism finder, but not for the 500C. I also have the RB67. Whoops.
Oh.
Let me get rid of that. Sorry, folks. I'm going to put that away.
Okay.
Yeah, I have an RB67 with both finders, the top waist level viewfinder and the prism finder. And I just collect and collect and collect. I've got door stops everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find that little fella. Yeah, it was right there. I had it all taped up. Do it again. There she is.
Oh, wow. That's pretty.
Yeah. It
All right,
had.
guys.
Away we go.
No, good. I guess we could get started. I got Margie's on here. Margie, I thought you said Carl was going to be on here.
He's supposed to be on here, and I lost that video I wanted to show you.
Oh,
For the last hour, I've been hunting for it, and it's up in La La Land someplace.
okay.
And Carl will probably show up in just a few.
Okay.
And he
Uh,
will, I'm sorry, and he will try to make it.
Okay. All right, guys. So I don't have much in the way of the business side of the meeting this evening, but we'll go ahead and I'll cover a couple quick little things. One is the survey. I got 6 responses to that. If you haven't filled out the survey, go fill it out, please. It takes 3 minutes or 4 minutes of your time, and put a little bit of information in there for us for the planning for next year. I'm sure everyone has at least one place or one item that they would like to see us cover or go to or something like that. So if you haven't filled that survey out, go ahead and do it. I turned it back on. So we'll give it another week. For responses. Okay. Everyone got the email for the survey?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I found a list in my notes. It was for future discussions, topic list that you had made up back in 2013. It's interesting. If it's a real tickler, if you want me, I can go through these list of things that were listed for possible future discussions.
2013. Wow, that's it. You were going through the archives there.
6/27/13. Find it right. When I keep notes, I don't fool around.
You know what? Go ahead and run down through them. I want to hear those.
Okay, there's about 10, 11, 12 of them. Photo marketing, presentation, for example, framing, matting and labeling, software, digital workflow, Lightroom, Photoshop Elements, advanced Photoshop, home studio portraits, flash photos, low light, no flash, action, all in a group, laser tripping, new equipment, video, composite photos, legal and copyright, black and white film, and film scanning. That was on the list.
It's surprising to listen to that, because most of that's on the list this year too.
Yeah.
And I think all the years before that. So, okay. Thanks, Rex. Anyhow, that as far as that goes. Photo walk we have scheduled is December 18th at Kennywood. Now, I have a question, if anyone knows, is Kennywood allowing people to bring in bags, like your camera bag?
Only small ones, and I can't remember the size, but most of the camera bags that we have would not work. Let me see if I can.
You think they'd make an allowance for a club, maybe?
Well, they had that issue with the shootings and stuff down there, so they've got pretty or more stringent on their.
Yeah.
My next question would be, are you allowed to take a tripod? Yeah.
That would be another good question.
I don't remember that it said anything about it.
I know years ago we did when we went a couple years ago, but you know, things have changed.
So it's saying that Kennywood you're only allowed to take bags within the dimensions of 8 inches by 5 inches by 1 inch.
Oh.
Which is basically a wallet.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
And if you have one of those big wallets like the Cowboys wear, that's too big. Okay, so
Like stick your lenses in your pockets.
right.
That's a Brian. That's what
Cargo
you do.
pants.
You know, well, that's also Brian. That's where you put your lenses, isn't it, Brian? You stick them in your pockets.
On occasion, yes.
Yeah.
I've been known to do that.
It says you can take a medical and diaper bag,
Oh,
just put it in a small clutch purse. So you can take a diaper bag.
Or work until they ask us where the child is.
Yeah,
How about making it a smartphone night?
that's an idea.
well, what I was considering was making the 18th, instead of Kennywood, going to Westmoreland.
Fortune. I
To the
mean,
fairgrounds?
the
Yeah, to the
fairgrounds.
fairgrounds.
Hmm.
But I wanted to get you guys' opinion on that, because like I said, I figured that the rules have changed for Kennywood, so we have to kind of get an idea of what we can and can't do. And by the looks of Beth, she's still looking.
Well, I'm looking up to see if there's any rules for what's that, Westmoreland, but,
There's no Westmoreland's okay. You can do what you want there.
okay.
I mean, I don't, if Kennywood allows a tripod, then you're probably pretty good with that, because you can take a camera and a tripod. You only need one lens. You don't need to take 45 lenses, put a couple batteries in your pocket and you're good to go.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Beth, I'm not sure they'll allow the 4x5.
Probably not.
But anyhow, take a look at that. If you can take a glance at that for a few minutes, we'll see if you can come up with something. If not, I'll leave it up to you guys, whatever you want to do.
I have a hunch that tripods are probably out.
And that's really more what I'm concerned with, because if they're out, it's
Uh.
kind of hard to go do nighttime light photography with no tripod.
Yeah.
We do a lot of leaning, leaning against walls and floors, and
Yeah.
rocks, posts.
All right. So that was the two things that I had with business. Does anyone else have anything that they want to bring up?
I do want to say, I want to thank everybody for making that Christmas party such a fantastic time. It was a great Christmas party. We had a lot of fun, tons and tons of food as usual. And are you going to be setting up something, or have I missed it? Have you already done something about setting it up for that contest where people can enter one picture, that people who came to the party can enter one picture for that $25 gift certificate?
Oh, okay. No, I have not done that, but I will.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Let me put that in my notes here.
Yeah, maybe put a deadline on it, and this kind of stuff.
I didn't know if we had to post them on Reddit, because that's what I was struggling to get my pictures to go on Reddit last night. It would not take any of them.
Wow. Was there a problem with Reddit last night? Does anybody else know?
I finally got them to go on this afternoon while I was at work, but I couldn't. I don't know what was going on last night.
It might have been an issue with them. I haven't posted anything on there for a while, so I don't know.
Is Jim around? I see him, but I don't see anything about him.
He's on.
What would you like me to say, Margie?
That was enough.
Well, I'm glad to hear that the Christmas party was good. I was out with a migraine, so didn't do much of anything other than sit in a dark room most of the day. So I apologize for missing that. I really wanted to be there, but
You're usually good about being around food, so
yeah, I
you
know.
knew it had
Yeah.
to be something.
You had a real headache.
Yeah, a real bad headache. Right?
Yep, I did not leave the house. So, what else did I want to bring up? I was looking at the newsletter, and there is several milestones in here this time.
Ah,
I think maybe we should bring those up, don't you think, Marty? Do you want to, or do you want me to? I have the newsletter in front of me, so,
all right, let me just open it up here.
okay.
So, I know that. Get there.
And there's another one that needs to be in there for next month, Beth.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
I don't think it made it in yet.
No, I haven't done that yet. That's November. I have to go back to December. I went to November instead. All
And
right.
I'll bring a copy of the book
Oh,
in January when we do the next,
Talk about.
talk about.
that'd be
You know, Beth, your post that you made about always saying that you're going to do that and then you procrastinate to the end and forget to do it and all that. You told me to send something into this thing, and I said I was
Yes, I
going to,
did.
and I did exactly what you do.
Oh, you didn't
Wait.
send in?
No, I forgot. Until you posted saying that you were in.
all right. I'm ready.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was sending mine in like, what, 3 days before the deadline?
Yeah.
Can
And
I
told
ask
you
what
the
it
next
is?
day.
What are y'all talking about?
So there's a magazine called Lens Work, which is a really, really good, well-printed, well-run magazine that comes out every, I think it's 6 a year. And they have also been doing a book every year on something. They did a couple of years, they did something called Seeing in Sixes, where people would submit groups of 6 images together. And then they did something landscape that, yeah, obviously I have landscape shots. I could have submitted to that. Did I? No. And this year it's called Trilogies. And this is the cover of the book, but it's all 3 shots that go together in some way or another. And you couldn't have more than one that was vertical because of the way that they were going to do the printing. And so they accepted 125 groups of 3, and one is mine that I submitted because I actually made a deadline.
Wow. Congratulations. I can't wait to see
you.
it.
Can you show us the photos, Beth?
Yeah. Actually,
Right out of the book.
yeah. Mine are on pages 58 and 59, I think. And they have it broken up into color and black and white. And mine are even color.
Hmm.
I don't know how well you can see them, but
It's a little bit hard.
What's going on?
it's
You
3
gotta keep
shots that I took at Carrie Furnace the first time that we went.
Oh, okay.
So from August of 21.
Brian, you could have like been in a contest with that.
Yeah. Beth even told me to submit my Carrie Furnace shots to that.
Yep, I did.
That was the one she told me to submit. So I,
It's news.
yeah, I
I
didn't
do a
listen.
lot of that.
All
Does
right.
it have to be, does it have to be from this area somewhere, particular, or can it be from any area?
For lens work, it's probably worldwide.
Okay,
Yeah, their magazine is worldwide.
okay.
Yeah. They probably got more submittals from the US than anywhere, but I haven't, I've looked through the list of names of who got in, but I haven't looked through the list in the back of the book to see if it gives any clues as to where people are.
Okay. No, that's great.
And John Barclay got in, I believe. But I haven't looked at what his photos are.
All right, Marty, do you want to go ahead and highlight those couple
Yep,
milestones?
I will. So I'm gonna highlight my favorite Photographer's Choice Award winner, Miss Grace. She won that challenge. And then we have a milestone from, oh, come on. From Bob DeJesus. And he did the SAMA Ligonier photography thing. He was chosen, his Goblin State Park in Utah. That's in there. And then Candace, her string of pearls was in that exhibit as well. And then Carolyn Holland had 8 photos chosen for the Ligonier calendar. And so I put all those in there. She was on the cover, and then January, February, March, June, August, November, and December.
Yeah. She brought the catalog with her to the party. We were looking at it. Yeah. Yeah.
She did awesome there. 8 out of 13 pages, and she's got 8 of them. So she did very well. I don't know. One thing I don't know is how many submitted photos to the Ligonier calendar.
Yeah, she didn't know either. I know Claire had one of hers in there too.
It was Carolyn and 2 other people.
Yeah, Claire was, and well, I don't know, but I know that
No,
Claire
I'm just
had
kidding.
hers.
Well, there you go. So if you submit stuff that nobody else wants to do, you're gonna.
So congratulations to them, to everyone. Candy, you're actually on here this evening, so congratulations.
Y'all did great.
Yep.
Yep.
And if you want to see the pictures, open your newsletter up.
Right. It was nice to see all those pictures.
Yeah.
But some months we don't have anything in
Hey, Brian,
Yes, go ahead.
I did eventually find buried in Kennywood's thing that
Can you guys hear her? I lost her voice.
selfie sticks are prohibited, including without limitation, any other form of photographic tripod or handheld camera extension device, strictly prohibited in the park. You will be blocked at the entrance if you have a selfie stick on your person, and you may be ejected without refund if you are found to be in possession of a selfie stick on park grounds.
there you go.
So,
Okay. So that pretty much answers that question.
yeah.
So the question then that I present to you guys is, what do you want to do?
What day is that supposed to be on?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday, the 18th.
18th.
Not everyone at once.
It's supposed to be snowing that day, huh?
I think we're all looking in our calendars is what we're doing. That's what I'm doing.
I mean, either way, I'm not going to be available. I'm out of town on the 18th. But I didn't want to schedule you guys to go somewhere that you couldn't go to with a tripod. So
Mhm.
that's the reason I brought it up.
29 degrees is the high that day. so
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Goes down to
Well, the nice thing about going to Overly's at the fairgrounds is they have a fire.
I won't get any further than the fire.
Margie will just go and sit in the fire.
That's it.
I don't know if I will make it. I haven't really done any Christmas shopping, and that's our chore next weekend
Yeah.
or this weekend.
you're gonna have wind chills because you're gonna have between 15 miles per hour to 28 miles per hour. So
Yeah, and they have snow
Maybe like-
showers.
you're gonna be like 15 degrees.
Sounds like y'all are really eager to go someplace that day.
I'm gonna let it up to you guys. Do you guys want to go or do you want to cancel it?
I'm gonna cancel. Y'all do what you want.
Yeah, I think for our health, it might be a good idea. At least for mine, it will be.
Mine too.
I know in years past, every time that we've went and it's been cold,
Yeah.
I'm the only one that typically showed up.
Yeah.
I think last year Carl showed up. He was there about half an hour and he said he was too cold and he went home.
I'm not going.
Yeah, I'm not going.
There's no Christmas lights worth be standing out in that kind of cold.
Okay. So am I getting that the general consensus is that we're just not going to do that on the 18th?
Yes.
Sounds like it.
Okay.
Christmas lights inside.
I was gonna
All right.
say, we need to in December do something inside.
Well, I don't know what you can do inside. Do you guys know of anything? I mean,
No.
I would like to schedule a January trip to Phipps. Just because of the it will have the lights and stuff up still in January and their winter flower show.
But you'd have to go in the evening to do the lights.
Mhm.
And it will be cold.
Okay.
I think when we did it, must have been a couple years ago, because I don't know if we did it this year. We went a little early so that we could walk around on the inside and then went outside. I know I was with Annie. We went outside after dark.
Yeah, that was the way we did it that day. We went in because you have to get a ticket for a time, but once you're there, you can stay as long as you want. So I believe that's what we did.
I think we spent like all day. I think you were there too. I think we spent
Yeah.
all day and then just went outside afterwards.
Right.
The outside's
that
not
way-
that big, that you have to spend like hours outside,
Yeah, well, and that's what I was going to say. That way, if you don't want to stay and do the lights because it's too cold, you can either leave or stay inside.
Right.
Right. So, that's up to you. I mean, for something that you want to do in December, as far as inside lights, if you guys know of anything, we can schedule that. But like I said, I would like to schedule a trip to Phipps in January. Margie moaned when I said that. I'm not sure why she did that.
Well, I would like to go to Phipps, but I can't go anyplace for 2 months. So,
Well, we'll go back to Phipps.
okay,
If anything, you and I will go back to Phipps.
sounds good.
I keep buying memberships to Phipps and I go once a year. I got to start make it at least worthwhile.
Yeah,
I do the same thing.
I think it's,
I bet we go at least a dozen times, if not 18 times a year.
yeah,
Wow.
I think you got to go at least twice to make the membership worthwhile.
Yeah.
So. But no, Margie, we'll take care of that. We'll go at it. We'll go at another time too.
Okay,
Because I know you're going to be out for a little while.
yeah, a couple of months at least.
Yep. All right. So does anyone, does anyone have any ideas of what you could do in December? We don't want to go to the Westmoreland. It's going to be too cold. We can't go to Kennywood. We can't take a tripod.
Anybody been to Pittsburgh Botanical Gardens this year? They're doing a lot of, they've done some sort of light show and they're doing a lot of promotion.
My friend went and she loved it. She doesn't take photos, but she really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to schedule that for the 18th? Anybody interested in going? Like I said, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be up near New York on the 18th. So
I know Annie won't be able to go.
Well, Pittsburgh Botanical Gardens is outdoors. The weather's going to be the same that you would experience at Westmoreland Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know. Well, it's going to be just as cold, Jim, but the promotions they're doing indicate they've made a pretty big investment in lights. And I don't know. We're not going to go because they're not going to be cold. So need a volunteer to go and report.
While you're there, take photos and show us.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, think about that. If you guys come up with anything you want to do, let me know. We can schedule it. But we'll move on for the evening and see what, if anyone comes up with anything, let me know.
What about the aviary?
There you go. That's at least an indoor thing you can do during the day.
Yeah.
You got anyone else interested in going to the aviary on the 18th? I would like to go, but I unfortunately, like I said, I have to be out of town.
I have
It is
no
just-
idea what we've got planned next
Yeah.
weekend yet, so.
So close to Christmas, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I'll put a, let me put an email out with an RSVP and see if I can get anyone to tell me that they're going in the next day or two. If they are, we'll schedule that to the aviary. Otherwise, I guess we'll have to skip it. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll do that.
We could do 2 things in some other month.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
June.
I'm going to be starting Saturday stations in January, so.
Yeah.
Margie says in August, she'll be willing to go outside.
I
for
am
10 minutes.
definitely okay in August. Although it does start cooling down around here in August, so July is the hottest month for me.
All right. Well, we'll work on that.
God, so. And we could do lights. We could do lights in January for our station Saturday. There, that takes care of lights.
There you go. All right. Well, Margie, we have a date for the planning committee, don't we? Didn't you? And I
Yes,
talked
the
about
8th.
that? Okay. So January 8th is officers planning committee.
We don't have a time, and I was gonna ask Marty, what happened to Marty? Well, there she is. What's the earliest you can do?
Probably 1:30.
Okay, that's, if y'all wanted to do, Beth, I mean, the rest of you, if y'all wanted to do it around 1:32, because we're gonna have usually pizza and etc. We can have lunch. Is that too late for y'all? I was just thinking about getting y'all home early in case it snows. Jim? I don't care what time.
1:30, 2 o'clock works for me.
All right. Let's make it 2 o'clock on the 8th.
Okay, so I have no problem starting early afternoon, but based on previous years of meetings, I think I would also suggest that we set an end time. because I don't want to be there from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 at night.
Oh, come on, Jim. You don't want to spend that much time with us?
Really? Come on, we have fun.
Last year we got out pretty fast.
Yeah, Jim, I'm gonna ask if you can do the spreadsheet like you did last year. I'll send you over my survey results and stuff like that.
I
If
will
you
do
can,
that, yeah.
if you can, because that definitely it sped things up and got us through there quicker. And I agree with you. I don't think we should be there. If we're gonna be there at 2 o'clock, I don't think we should be there probably 6 o'clock out the door.
Maybe,
I was thinking
but
like,
that's the reason I
4:30,
wanted it
5 o'clock.
earlier, so everybody can get out the door earlier, and Jim did a great job.
Yeah.
And I can try to be there by 1, if that helps.
Jim, did that sound fine or fine, or did you want to be quicker than that?
I didn't understand what her suggestion was.
Oh, my suggestion was to be out of there by what did I say?
7,
6
Six.
o'clock
6, 7 o'clock.
at the latest.
Beginning at 2,
Yeah.
4 hours seems like it's enough time, yes.
It hasn't been yet, so we can try it.
Well, we're gonna do things quicker this time.
The year that we did it on Zoom, we finished it in under 2 hours.
I don't remember doing it. on
Because we
Zoom.
weren't sitting there
Yeah.
eating pizza the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did it one time on Zoom, but
yeah,
no, we can do it. We got to stay on task.
yeah.
We'll be okay.
Yeah,
We'll
it
get
was
it done.
pretty fast.
So 1 or 2?
January 8th at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And we'll get that taken care of and out the door, no problem. Okay, that is all I have for that, I believe. Anyone else have anything they want to bring up? No, okay.
Well, you do have, my goodness, what are y'all doing this? You're doing the YouTube video today.
Yeah,
Then the next meeting, you and Jim have sharpening. Is that right?
We did that last month.
we did that already.
Mhm.
Okay, that must have been a meeting I couldn't make it to. So what happens at the next meeting? And when is that?
So tonight is the favorite photographers and YouTubers.
Uh-huh.
The next meeting is the SWIG meeting, and that is masking and layers, and it looks like it has my name next to it.
Okay, so see, you're stuck with 2. So let me go ahead and take the December tips from you. So you
I
don't
was
have to
going to
worry
say the
about that.
December tips was Brian as well.
Yes. So I'll take the December tips from you
Okay,
or Marty.
okay.
You never have her newsletter, right?
Well, it don't matter at this time. She ain't gonna change it now because I mean,
Yeah,
Liz
not
letter's
the-
already out. So,
Okay, I've got that.
all right. So tonight,
And-
we're gonna talk about YouTubers and photographers that we follow.
Okay, but I wasn't finished yet here. Let me just
Okay.
interrupt you. I need some tips starting in January and February's. I think everybody here needs to do some kind of tip. Like I said, anything photography. It doesn't matter what, a YouTube video, it doesn't matter. Some of your pictures. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I'll do January.
There you go. Marty said she'll do January.
Great. That's one person down.
I can probably take February. I know I had an idea the other day of something that would work, but I didn't write it down.
Well, it'll come to you because I've got you down for February.
Okay.
Beth, I have ideas. I write them down and then I forget where I wrote them down. So
That-
I don't
that's it.
write them down either.
Jim?
Well, you've seen what my desk looks like, so
I'll do March.
All right.
That's good enough to get started there.
I agree with you. Y'all, the rest of y'all think about it, it's not hard. Go to YouTube and, oh, this is neat. And then do it.
It doesn't have to be always the officers.
Okay, March is Brian.
Yep.
Good, all right.
All right. Anything else, Margie, or may I move forward?
No, I'll wait till you start talking again.
Okay. All right, guys. So I want to show you, before I go into the YouTube thing, I want to show you something. We were talking extensively over the last month or so about On1 software. So I bought it. It was on a pretty good sale for Black Friday and Christmas stuff, so I bought it. And I just want to show you one thing in On1 that I thought was pretty darn cool. So let me share my screen here. And you guys see On1?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So On1 has this new noise and sharpening AI stuff on it. We've been talking about AI stuff for a while now. So I want you to just take a look. And this is a picture I shot out at, this is the raw photo. Nothing's been done to it. At least on that side. On what you're seeing right there, nothing's been done to that. That is the photo that I took with, I believe, an 85mm lens. So it's pretty sharp. It's a good lens. So On1 has this noise and sharpening, and they have what's called no noise AI and tack sharp AI. Or you can click the button that says both, and it does both of those for you on the picture. I want you to see, I clicked the button that says both. That's the only thing I've done to this photo. And I'm going to show you the difference between the picture that you see and the AI sharpening and no noise that On1 did.
Wow.
It keeps bouncing for me, so it's hard to see
Bouncing as in,
in and out of focus.
oh,
Picture isn't changing. I mean, the picture changed when you swiped across.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's just the stuff on the right that's doing the in and out of focus.
Well, it's a big difference.
I thought, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw a big difference.
Yeah, I can see it that time.
Yeah.
so I mean, I think that's, yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's a little bit too sharp. If you look at his beard, but it's absolutely amazing. What really surprised me was how well it brought out the information on the newspaper.
And you can turn it down a little. Like,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I can
It's-
bring this down with the settings over here, but I was
Brian, can you show it at 100% or 200% to see the changeover?
Yeah.
that is at 100% there.
Oh, okay,
I can zoom in more.
200. Yeah, see now look at there. See now, then pass it back and forth there. Look at the difference there. Wow, big difference. Maybe half, just half of that would, sharpening it just half of that
The
would probably
badge.
be
The
good.
badge.
Yeah, the badge. Wow.
look at the pores on his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can count the pores on his nose.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh, the wrinkles.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I wanted to show that to you because, like I said, all I did to it was click that button and let On1 do whatever it felt like doing. But I was really impressed with this newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with the badge.
It's everything. I liked everything.
And it also, if you look, it picked up like little spots here and there and all this,
Yeah.
stuff that was on his shirts and that. So when I worked on this picture, I have another version of it that I worked on. I had to go through and clean all that up because it brought all that out. That wasn't in the picture there.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I thought that was very interesting as to how sharp it actually made things.
Yeah, he would not have been happy if you had tried to roll one of those lint rollers over his body before.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd have got that same expression.
No, he'd have probably shot me. You don't mess with the sheriff, you know.
You'd have got that Winston Churchill look.
Yep.
And how much did you pay for O1?
$80 some dollars, I think. I forget. Look at the feather on his hat.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really amazing.
So anyhow,
Now, that being said, do you have in there what f-stop you were on? Does it tell you that?
Go to info up at the top, right there.
Something-
Click info.
here, info.
Yeah, right there. And that bar right below the stars gives
Okay.
you,
So ISO
ISO
200 at 1/320th at 5.6.
Hmm.
And that was with an 85 millimeter lens.
Brian, does On1 include the sharpening and noise reduction as part of the base package, or is that an add-on?
No, it's part of their, if you buy the Photo Raw, the On1 Photo Raw 2023, you get all that in there.
Why does that info panel go out of focus?
I think
don't-
that's Zoom.
it's probably Zoom because
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
I
because the
know
whole
when I'm
picture went
using
out
on
for
one,
me.
it doesn't go in and out of focus.
yeah, because it's not moving at all here. I think it's the Zoom bar that's doing that.
Yeah,
Mm,
because even the picture, the whole image went out of focus on me.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's Zoom, but I don't know. I was really impressed with that part. I've been fooling around just a little bit with it. But this sharpening thing was pretty cool. Anyhow,
Mess around with the sky swap stuff.
okay.
Because if you have your picture up, it'll give you a preview that's like, just by hovering over everything, it'll preview what it is. And the masking is really good.
Okay. I did some on the picture that I worked on. I did some of the AI masking, telling it to work on just a guy, and it done an amazing job of pulling him out of the picture and allowing me to work with him as well.
Mhm.
So as I fool with it and find things, I'll point things out to you guys that I like. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I need to bring this screen over to you guys.
Do you think that they're going to do the same thing that Neil is trying to do now? And that is start charging you monthly?
On1?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do. And actually that's the way I signed up for it. I'm paying like $6 a month for it.
Okay.
But you can still buy it outright.
You can, yeah, you can
That's-
buy it outright and be done with it, but with the subscription, like everything else, every time they do an update, you get it.
Yeah. Okay.
But
And
you
it's
can-
only $6 a month.
That's
that was
not
that was the Black Friday deal.
Oh,
I think it's like regular $9 a month or something, $8.99 or something like that. I think it was.
So $6 a month on the Black Friday deal, which you probably can still get, and then it goes up to $9.99 after a year.
Yeah, something like that. So it like I said, I decided to go ahead and buy it and try it out. And if I don't like it, I'll end it, I'll just end my subscription and move on. But
Which kind?
some of the stuff looks pretty good in it.
Yeah.
Okay, YouTubers. So you guys submitted some stuff to me for YouTubers. I'm going to go down through. We're not going to watch videos. we're going to look at a few photos at the end, but I'm not going to watch videos. I just want to bring these people to your attention is the way I want to operate this. So I follow this guy. Of course, it doesn't say that I am right there because it's asking me to subscribe, but I do follow this guy. This guy's Marcus Brownlee. This guy does a lot of really good reviews of all kinds of stuff. A lot of it, 99% of it's electronic stuff. So he reviews phones, iPads, computers, cameras, all that kind of stuff. So this guy here, I believe DL sent me him as well. He talks about things like AI. He talks about all kind of stuff. So I follow him. I've been following him for several years now. I'm watching his videos and stuff, and he's pretty good. So does really good reviews of stuff, and I would recommend checking him out on YouTube. All right. This is Zach Aris, Arias. I do not follow this guy. This is someone that I believe DL sent me, and I will post a list of all these people's names
Okay.
for you guys at the end. So if you don't want to write everything down, that's fine. I got links to some of the videos and that I'll get those posted as well. But Zach Aries, this particular video is the one that DL had picked out for us for me to show. Like I said, I'm not going to show videos because we just don't have time to show videos on all those YouTube channels up there. But this one is about crop sensors and versus full frame. So check it out. Check him out. He's got his own channel, of course, and with lots of stuff on it. Zach Aries. All right. Larry Chen. Get rid of that. Oh, no, that didn't get rid of that. Larry Chen. This is the video that I believe DL sent me as well. Photo tips for shooting and snacking the 24-hour of Daytona. So I'm going to assume that's probably pretty. I didn't get a chance to watch this, but I'm going to say that this is probably pretty good photo tips on shooting fast-moving cars if it's they're talking about the 24 hours of Daytona, because that's a 24-hour race. Pretty cool race. So photo tips for shooting that kind of stuff with this guy here, Larry Chen. Next is Rob Samples. Sports photography tips that you need to hear. So I wish Ashley was on here tonight. She's always asking about sports photography tips, and she messages me and asks me for what settings to use it at the gymnasium. It's kind of hard for me to tell you that. I'm not there. But so Rob Samples, sports photography tips that you need to hear. And he is, of course, it's Rob Samples Photography. Check him out. This is Peter Collusion, Coulson.
I think he pronounces it Colson.
Colson, okay, Peter Colson. That would make more sense with where the L, where the U and the L is. Working with a model on her first ever shoot. So that would probably be a good video to watch if you're interested in taking some portrait photography and dealing with someone that's new to getting their pictures taken, kind of thing. Anybody want to or say anything about Peter Colson? Do you guys, anyone else follow him, talk about him? Know him? No. Okay. Sean Tucker. Body language and intention in street photography. So this is for Margie. She's always talking about street photography. This was submitted, I believe, by DL as well. But so Sean Tucker. Let's move that forward. We can.
That
This
one I
is
definitely want to see.
Featuring Joshua
Usually do.
Jackson
And I was
too,
saying how
and he's really good.
Joshua Jackson.
Mhm. Josh
Oh,
Jackson,
Joshua Jackson. Okay.
yeah.
So I think all these videos are going to are well worth taking a look at. And again, like I said, I'll link them all out for you guys. Landscape photography, how to self-critique your own photographs. Margie would agree with that.
Yeah.
And this is expressive photography.
In fact, I've actually seen him too, or I've seen these sites.
I've posted stuff by him before on Reddit. That's
Okay.
Alistair Ben. And his attitude is just right in line with a lot of us. Like basically do it your way. It's not cookie cutter.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. Next on the list is the photographic eye. Why no one needs to see your photography. So that one I have to watch. I haven't watched this one, and I'm interested in watching this one as far as finding out why he thinks no one should see your photography. But the photographic eye is the name of the channel, and I honestly don't remember who submitted this one. It was either I don't know. It might have that might still be.
That was me, Brian.
Was that you? Okay. You want to say
Yeah.
something about him or about his about the channel?
Well, what I like about it is it's not just technical stuff, but it's more the feeling of your pictures and what feeling you're trying to convey with your photography. So it's just a break from the technical.
Okay. And that's really good too, because I think a lot of times we as photographers sometimes will get too technical or start thinking too much about the technical side of it and forget about the emotional side of it or the creative side of photography. So,
And he features a lot of well-known photographers as examples of what he's talking about. So I like it.
okay.
He sounds kind of like Alistair Ben-ish.
Cool. Okay. The art of photography. Who submitted this one?
Brian, I don't know if I submitted that one, but I follow this guy.
Okay.
Sometimes I like his videos and sometimes I don't. He's been on a roll here for the last couple of months where followers of him submit printed books that they've done. And then he basically just kind of comments on how well or how poorly they might have done in their printed books. But he's a little bit into the I don't know, I guess the philosophy, if you will, behind photography more than like he doesn't go out on shoots and discuss camera settings or compositions or anything. He's more in tune of just the philosophy, psychology of photography.
All right.
And that's looks like a 4x5, if not bigger, next to the door.
Yeah, I was looking at that too, Beth. All right. Thank you, Jim, for the comment. Next person. Expressive photography. Expressive landscape photography. Find your unique creativity. Has 30,000 subscribers, a bunch of videos on here. He talks about all kinds of different types of photography. And I've seen a few of his videos here and there. I've watched, I do believe I've watched this focus stacking one for sure. And I think I've watched this creative gift one in the past. Anyone know the gentleman or want to comment on this guy?
That's the one I sent you. That's Alistair Ben.
Okay.
He's Scottish, so you get to listen to his accent too. And he's much more into creating the mood and finding the mood that you intend to have in the photo rather than just like the best settings or the best way to process something. It's more process it so that it works to illustrate what you want it to,
Okay.
basically. And he also does interviews with a lot of like similar minded people, basically, like Adam Gibbs, he does a lot of stuff with. He has a couple of interviews with John Barclay and I think Sarah Marino and a couple other people like that are in there too. If you go back like probably about 2 years in his like voluminous list of videos,
Mhm.
he did an awful lot of them during COVID because he was locked down too. And there's just a lot of thought in them.
Okay. You guys notice me hitting the subscribe button on these things as we go through. It does not hurt to have these things pop up on your YouTube list whenever you go to your YouTube list. So hit subscribe when you pull these guys up from the links when I send them out.
Yeah.
All right. Matt Marsh,
Marash.
Marash, and I'm going to assume
Marash.
this came from Beth as well
Yep.
because there's a 4x5 on the front cover there.
He does large format Fridays. So he does some video having to do with large format every Friday. But he also does other stuff in between every once in a while. And he's mostly a film guy, but I think he does use digital for commercial work and stuff like that. But film's really his thing. But he's near, or at least not too far from Hocking Hills in Ohio. So he's got a few videos where he takes an 8x10 out to Hocking Hills.
Nice. How many of y'all been to Hocking Hills?
Not yet.
No.
I want to go.
How far is it?
It's not really that far. It's about maybe a 2-hour drive from our area?
Nah, it's a little more than that.
Is it
It's
more
more
than
like
that?
4, I think.
Yeah,
Really? I don't know.
it's about
I've
4.
been there. What's that?
Yeah, I think it's about 4 hours too.
About 4 hours? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
'Cause
I've
it's
been
not
there,
close
but
enough for a day trip.
Yeah, it's an overnighter.
Yeah.
yeah, I spent I don't know, 3 or 4 nights out there a while back, several
Mm.
years ago. It's a beautiful place and it's got some really cool stuff there. It is not the Ohio that everyone thinks of. Everyone thinks of Ohio as being flat. It's not. Up in there's a path that you can walk that takes you all the way up into a waterfall. It's a dead end because that's it. You go up this canyon up to this waterfall. And in every year they have a music festival at the waterfall. And that is actually pretty cool. They bring up, there'll be a bunch of people bring drums and stuff, and then they play music in this huge round room kind of thing at a waterfall. It's pretty cool.
Hmm.
But anyhow, it's a little off topic, but it's a neat place to go, Hocking Hills.
That'd be cool.
All right. Sarah Marino.
That's another one I sent you.
Okay.
She doesn't, those are all of her videos. She doesn't really do that much with it, but she's one of the intimate landscape type people.
Yeah.
So a lot of her videos give you that kind of like thoughts along those lines and things to look for and stuff like that. Small scenes, insights. It's a really good one.
Okay. And it looks like, I mean, it's not a whole bunch of videos, but several of these are an hour and a half to 2 hours long, close to 2 hours long. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of content in the few videos that she has listed here.
Yeah.
It looks like I may have started watching the one that says black and white before and after. What a surprise. Okay. Next on the list. Anthony Morganti.
Morganti.
I was close.
You were close.
Who submitted this one?
I did. I'm not sure if anybody else did or not.
Okay.
Morganti, he primarily does software reviews, and well, I shouldn't even say software reviews. I should say software how-tos. So, Brian, if you go over to his playlist, oh, they're not organized. Oh, yes, they are. Okay. So I see Affinity in there, On1,
On1.
the Nick
Silver Effect.
collection,
Yeah.
Luminar. He's got Photoshop. He's got Lightroom. It's almost you name the software, and Anthony has a series of how-to videos on it. And he's
Luminar Neo has 42 videos on.
yeah, it doesn't surprise me. And I tell you what, it's really good for the person who just purchased or is thinking of purchasing a particular software package. His explanations are very straightforward, simple, thorough. He just does a nice job reviewing software.
Okay. Very good. Henry Turner.
This is another one that I watch. This guy's based in England. My impression is Henry's a relatively new professional photographer. And I'm going to say, when I say relative, I'm going to say within the last 5 years. I think I started following him just almost by accident 3 years or so ago. And it's interesting to have watched his progression as a photographer. Originally, he's a really interesting character. He's just fun to watch and listen to. And initially, I didn't really think a whole lot of his photography, but he's gotten pretty good over the years, I think. So it's his videos are basically out on location. Here's what I'm thinking about as far as composition and settings. He does most of his work in England, like the Lake District, and some of the other national parks. Goes over to Scotland every once in a while. But interesting character. It's kind of, his videos are fairly short. I'm going to say like 12 to 18 minutes long, and he's pretty faithful coming out on a weekly basis. So it's entertaining and educational.
All right. Thanks for that submission, Jim. James
And,
Popsy.
Yep.
I get it right?
Popsy. Yeah, Popsies. Yes.
Okay.
He currently lives in Wales, and I think I watched some of these guys simply because they're interesting individuals. Forget that they're photographers. James is very interesting. He does workshops and will travel all over the globe for photography sessions, and does a really nice job documenting where he's at. It's interesting how he post-processes photos. They look like, I don't know, like old film type Polaroid is how I would say he post-processes his photographs. But he does he does equipment reviews occasionally, but just like Turner, he's basically you're on location with him, just following him along on a typical day's worth of landscape photography.
Okay.
And ditto for Mads, he lives in Denmark. He and Popsis and another guy that will be on here shortly occasionally do photo field trips together. They've been to Antarctica. So it's kind of the same, you're on location with him, discusses settings, composition, what he's looking for, and then also gets into post-processing techniques as well. And what's interesting, Margie, I think once upon a time you mentioned about like getting an object in your photograph. And if you notice his banner there, you see the person on top of the rock.
Oh, yeah, that's a little scary if it was true.
In all likelihood, I shouldn't say in all likelihood, there's a good chance that that is actually Mads. He'll go ahead and put his camera on, what's the setting? Not a timer, the
Interval.
Say it again, Dennis.
Interval.
Interval. He'll put his camera on interval and find a spot like this and put himself in a photo. I'd say 8 out of 10 of his landscape shots, he includes either himself or someone else to give scale to the photo.
He's sort of like Alfred Hitchcock, who used to always be in his pictures. You never knew exactly when.
Again, Mads he's a weekly video. You can almost guarantee it.
Okay. That's a pretty damn good photo too. On his cover there.
Yeah, I don't know. He's done the last couple of weeks. They were in Cornwall, England, along the coast there, and that might be one from their recent trip to Cornwall.
Okay. All right. Next.
This is another guy I follow. He's in the U.S. I think he's down in the Carolinas somewhere. Mark Denny. Same kind of concept. He does both on location. This is what I'm looking for. These are my settings. And then post-processing as well. I sound like a broken record, but I like landscape photography, and these guys kind of are just very educational for me.
Okay. Scroll down through some of his videos here. I've seen a couple on focus stacking. So stop obsessing over sensor size. He's not getting paid by Nikon or Canon then, huh?
Actually, maybe this is how I originally got to watch it. He actually uses Fuji.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
How about if I handed him one of my 4-megapixel Olympus cameras and see how he does? I'm sure he would do real good, but would he be happy?
Yeah. I don't know. Some of my best pictures that I have that hang on the wall were shot with a 6-megapixel camera. So I don't know.
Yeah, it can happen. I have some.
And
Nigel Danson.
Yep, this is another guy, English-based, very educational, awesome landscape photographer. And again, it's basically on location and post-processing.
Okay. I was already subscribed to him. Color editing. I think that's going to be something we're going to talk about this year, some color stuff. All right. Omar Gonzalez.
Omar Gonzalez, he's based in well, he goes to New York City. I think he actually lives in New Jersey. I hate to say he's primarily a street photographer, but he probably does more street photography than anything else. He does a lot of camera reviews. You can see there he does use, well, he uses Fuji, but he also uses other camera brands as well. Some of his videos are equipment reviews, but he's just an interesting personality. That's all I can tell you.
All right, looks like lighting tutorials, Omar's portrait shoots and tips, popular videos, Fuji X-T20 tutorials. Simon Booth.
If no one else speaks up, I think that might be mine. Because I have seen Simon Booth videos. I think Beth actually mentioned him earlier. He's located up in Vancouver and does most of his on-site work on Vancouver Island, but he'll travel as well. Yeah, kind of the same on location type photography, landscape photography.
I don't think I've ever watched his, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I was confusing him with Adam Gibbs.
Oh, okay.
So I take that back as far as Vancouver goes, because Gibbs is on Vancouver.
Mm.
All right.
And this is another one of mine, English guy. Beth, in this case, Heaton has some film cameras, and he'll occasionally do this on location with his film cameras. It's maybe only 20 to 30% of his videos, maybe not even that much, but he'll occasionally have one with film camera. He just went to Sweden and bought a Hasselblad something or another.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but as I scroll through these landscape photographers, there's an awful lot of videos on focus stacking. And there's another one.
They almost all that I follow, Brian, use it to one extent or another.
Okay. All right. Joel Grimes. This was submitted by Margie.
Yep, it was.
Say, Margie, you still awake?
Yeah, I am.
You want to tell us anything about Joel Grimes?
Yeah, let me see where I'm at. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, let me get here. Hold on. Oh my gosh. There we go. Yeah, his photography is fantastic. He does a little bit of everything, portrait, landscape, and the information is just really good. But he has several different things that he does do. Oh gosh, I don't know how to say it. It's, indoors, outdoors, but he is so good. His photographs are just fantastic. A lot of what I really like about him is the still photos that he does. And I don't know, well, while you're going down, I don't know where it would be out in there, but he does a lot of great still photos, still life photos.
Okay.
And he tells you how he's created. In fact, you've seen him. if you look here with the texture one, the transform tool, I did one of his videos on that. Yeah,
This
that
video
one right
here,
there.
yeah. So that
Yes,
video I remember.
yes.
Yep.
And composition tips is good. There is just, he's just so good. That's just all there is to it.
All right.
But he does it on processing, lighting, yeah.
Okay. Joel Grimes. All right, Margie, this will be yours as well. Most of you guys are probably going to recognize this name.
Of course.
If you don't, you've had your head under a rock for the last few years.
Yeah, and I do like Matt a lot.
Yeah.
Matt is a he used to work for
Scott Kelby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Scott
been
Kelby's
around.
another one.
and then
They've
he
both
ventured
been
off
around
on his
years.
own. Yeah,
Yeah, I like
What a-
Scott Kelby too.
Almost from the beginning of Photoshop.
right.
Mhm.
So Matt is great with Photoshop, and he does a lot of tutorials on how to do things and how to use Photoshop and stuff like that. So I definitely said I've watched his videos for years. I've actually I was in a seminar in DC years back with him. He was one of the teachers there talking about stuff. So I've actually seen him. Really pretty good. So I definitely would recommend him myself.
Him and Scott Kelby.
Yeah, Scott Kelby. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
And this,
Oh, I love Fern. I just love him, love him, love him. I watch everything I can on Fern. If y'all don't know, you've seen several of Fern videos that I have shown. He is so good. He's Lightroom, Photoshop, and he is just fantastic. He explains things simply, and but he's mostly Photoshop and Lightroom,
Okay.
but he's so good. He does get into some camera settings and etc. like that too.
There's
He's one of my go-to
looks
guys.
like a course there, master Photoshop in 30 days, 30 days of Photoshop.
Yeah,
Uh,
you've actually seen several of his. Like I said, I go to, he's my go-to guy.
all right.
Master Photoshop.
Photoshop Cafe.
Once again, that tells you exactly what that's about, and I do like him a lot. He's very good. It's Colin Smith, and he does tutorials once again on Photoshop. And I've actually showed some of them with the club because he's another go-to on them.
Hey, look at that. Adobe Lightroom masking. I've watched that one.
Yeah,
There's another one I watched.
they told you he was good.
All right. Okay, so that takes us through all the stuff that you guys submitted for YouTube.
There was one I sent you that you didn't do.
I missed. Okay.
Yes.
What is it?
It is, I think the channel is called North Light Photographic Workshops.
There it was that's at North Lights.
About 2/3 of the way down there.
Yeah.
Hi there. My
He
name is
does a
Bill
lot
Schwab,
of
and I'd
drone
like to welcome.
stuff. But he also he's restarting his visits with artists kind of series.
Okay.
And where he goes and hangs out with people doing photography stuff. And he also does a lot of digital negatives.
I was just going to say there seems to be several things on digital
Is-
negatives.
Yeah, he does workshops on platinum printing and gum and all of that stuff, as well as wet plate and all that. But he does workshops up in Michigan. But this is the guy that does photo stock, which is usually in June. And it started off with like 5 guys that met on APUG, which at the time was still only film, absolutely film type people. And like 5 guys decided to camp out in the woods in Michigan on his property. And it has turned into a mostly yearly photography festival up there now.
All right. Sorry, I missed that one, Beth.
It's okay.
All right, North Light Photographic Workshops. All right, let's see. No one actually submitted anything about any actual just photographers. So I want to show you, this is one that I follow. This is Nikolai Brugger from Germany. On 500px, and I really just kind of like these photos, so I'll just scroll down through. You can take a look at some of these photos. Pretty darn good landscape stuff.
Who is that?
This is Nikolai Brugger.
Nikolai. Yeah.
I'm not from Germany, excuse me.
That's a Russian name.
They're from Germany though.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I'll just scroll down through here a little bit. I really like these photos.
I do too. I like them a lot. It looks like they have like a tab of HDR in them.
It may. Remember when our Jim was pointing out earlier, the guy that puts himself in the photos? I'm not
Yes.
sure that this is himself, but there is a lot of pictures with people in them. There's a person here, and there's a person way out there. There's people camping down inside there, and there's a guy in there. So
These
there's
folks-
a lot of these.
These folks don't seem to mind the cold.
Yeah.
No, this
Either
is
that, or they were just thrown into the picture.
Really gives you perspective as to the vastness of where they're at.
right.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I thought I really like these photos, this person's photos, and I thought I would show you those. Okay.
Hey, Brian,
Yeah.
scroll up to the very top to his banner photo, if that's what you call it. When I saw that, it reminded me, it has nothing to do with this photographer or the YouTube subject matter. But so we've had some discussions over the last half year or so about Luminar Neo. They just within the last day or so have released another extension. And don't hold me to this, but I believe it's called AI Relight. And Brian has shown us several times over the years where he'll take light bulbs or lamp posts or windows and light them up, if you will. So the AI Relight extension apparently looks for turned off lights and can turn them on for you.
Wow.
So it sounds like it's a pretty cool feature.
Yep. Okay, I got a couple from Instagram. If you guys don't know who this is, you've also been living under a rock for the last few years. This is Dave DiCello, DiCello, however you say his name, I don't care. A Pittsburgh photographer, Pittsburgh-based photographer, I should say. He does do stuff around, but a lot of his photos are featured on the news channels, WPXI, WTAE, all kind of stuff. But he is mainly a Pittsburgh photographer. And he does a lot of photos.
He posts literally every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he gets a lot of stuff that we don't have the option to get, kind of like this Highmark building picture. That's probably from a helicopter. I know he gets rides on helicopters quite often.
You know what, Brian? I don't know about that particular one, but there was, he posts on Twitter, and every once he'll tell you a little bit of background, just a couple of sentences on some of his photos. During Pittsburgh's light up night, somehow he actually got on top of PPG Place, the building.
I
remember that.
I was just going to say that because he's had access to the top of PPG Place more than once.
Yep.
But anyhow, he's a good photographer. He gets out there, but I do know that he gets out there very, very early in the morning. A lot.
Yeah, because he'll post that he saw something on his run at 4 o'clock, so he went back with his camera at 5.
Yeah, to take a picture. Yes.
Yeah. Like, I don't know why you run at 4 o'clock in the morning.
We can say that he's mentally unstable.
Yeah. Yep.
He does do some pretty darn good.
But it's working for him.
Yep, it is working. Yes, it is working.
We have 2 of his photographs in my living room.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
So I've been following him for a long time. Since I worked in Pittsburgh is when I started following his stuff. But anyhow, that's Dave DiCello. There's another one that I couldn't remember how to spell his name. His name is Emmanuel something. It's some weird name.
Yeah, the Greek guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, his work makes Dave DiCello's look like garbage.
Wow.
It is absolutely, his stuff is absolutely amazing, but I can't remember how to spell his name, so I couldn't find it to bring it up. When I do find it, I'll post something of it for you guys. This is a lady that I know personally that I follow. Her name is Tina Haydu. She is from Somerset area. And she's a portrait photographer, as you can tell. She's a very good portrait photographer. And I've been following her for a while. I've known her for a while. And one of the things that I was pretty excited to see, and when I get down here to it, you'll see it here in a second. But as you can see, she's a pretty darn good photographer. She does senior portraits mainly is what she does. That was what I wanted to point out. This year, she earned her master's of photography. So I've been following her for a long time, since, good Lord, I've known her probably, I don't know, 10 years or more now. But she is a really good photographer. She does a really good job. Really, really a nice lady too. She does a lot for this, for the state police too. Her husband, I believe, is a state cop. And she does a lot with their state police cadets and stuff like that. But anyhow, Tina Haydu. If you don't follow her, find her on Instagram. She's worth following. She's got some really nice photographs out there. Okay.
Check chat, Brian.
Check chat. Oh, okay. See if we can get that to open up. There we go. This is excuse me, I'm dying. This is Emmanuel. And I believe he is based out of Pittsburgh, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he seems to take a lot of things like in Beaver Falls out that way.
Yeah, and he does a lot of traveling as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but his stuff is amazing. And
That Still Life is nice.
I've seen, what was it? I'm sorry.
That's Still Life right there.
Still Life here.
That's-
Yeah. I've seen his work in person, in a gallery down in Pittsburgh, and it's out of this world to see it in person. It is absolutely amazing. I do believe when you look at stuff like this, I do believe it's HDR. But it's pristine. It's really, really good. So this is another guy that I follow him on Facebook. I just couldn't get it to pop up because I hate Facebook. But really, really good photographer, as you can see. This stuff is pretty darn good.
I actually found him, but when it came up on my iPhone, it was all girly pictures. So it was like, well, maybe that's not the guy.
Oh, okay.
A lot of models.
There's McConnell's Mill.
Hey, Brian, it says that he is actually from Beaver.
Is he from Beaver? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I knew he was from the area.
because when I typed in Pittsburgh photographer Emmanuel, it came up Emmanuel Fine Art.
Yeah.
And one of the photos that you just was on here, I wasn't sure if it was his or not the right guy or not, but one of the photos that you scrolled up through is on this website. But he has an art gallery in Beaver.
Yeah, he did have one in downtown Pittsburgh for a while. That's how I came across him.
Well, Dave DiCello used to have one in downtown Pittsburgh too, but he closed it.
Yeah. Yep. Here's small town USA. Let's just take a peek at a couple of these photos here. See if we come across anything that we recognize.
That looks like old economy there with the bridge and the church.
This one here.
Yeah, it does.
You see his prices?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 167 is what for a 4x6?
That's for a 2x3. The 4100 is the 11x14. But he does and he does sell quite a bit of photography. From following him, I see his post of stuff that he sold. So anyhow, Emmanuel, another guy I would recommend following. Okay, and let's see. I had Twitter open. I had Twitter open for this reason. On Twitter, I follow this thing here called Digital Photography School. If you're on Twitter, follow these people. They put out a lot of really good little tips and tricks and stuff like that. And this just happens to be the one that I pulled up today, 13 abstract landscape photography tips. But they post stuff all the time. I've been following them for a long time. But Digital Photography School is a good one.
Brian, if you go to their website, you can get a weekly newsletter from them. It's published on Thursdays, and that looks like that title screen. It's probably the same thing.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I get their newsletter, and I follow them on Twitter, and I might even follow them on Facebook too, I believe. But yeah, they're pretty cool. They have they post a lot of stuff. And I used to repost a lot of it when I was on Twitter before. A lot. But anyhow. And then the other one was Candy, help me out. SLR.
Oh, I don't remember.
SLR SLR Lounge, I believe is the name of it.
SLR Lounge. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. SLR Lounge. I forgot to bring it up, but I remember reading that in you guys' submissions. And I do follow these people as well, this SLR Lounge, on Facebook and Twitter, I believe. But they have a lot of tutorials and tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff on there. So they're a pretty good page to follow, actually, rather than just a photographer. But anyhow. All right. That is the YouTube version of tonight. I'm going to stop sharing. Come back to see who's awake.
Hey, there's Carl. Maybe Carl can give us his tip he wanted to.
Yes, Carl joined in there a little bit ago. I was going to see if he wanted to do his whatever it was that he wanted to do.
Harry? Ryan, did you get your Z9?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No,
Thought you ordered one.
no, I didn't order a Z9. I ordered a new go-kart.
Ah,
Oh, so that means you didn't get your 14 Pro Max either.
No, I'm not due for that yet. I gotta wait a couple more months to order that.
Well, it does sing a lot. I mean, it's nice. I'm learning.
Yeah, Margie next month is going to give us a couple tips and tricks on taking pictures with your iPhone. That was what she was going to do tonight, but she lost the video.
The next meeting.
The next meeting.
Yeah, next month I'm out for 2 or 3 months. So
Oh, that's right. Next meeting, she's going to give us a little bit of information on iPhone and I believe the Samsung S20.
Samsung. Mm-hmm.
But she somehow lost her videos into outer space somewhere.
Yeah, they are. They're still floating out there.
They're floating around in cyberspace.
They are.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. It's just a set of videos I ran across called How Kodak Makes Film. Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. And yeah, I kind of looked askance at the first two, but it's really a fascinating process. And they actually have the camera inside the Kodak plants. I particularly like that because I've spent numerous times in my career walking through plants that did various things. And I thought it was a really well put together video. And I'm looking forward to the next two. That's all. Told you, Marge, it wasn't going to be long.
Okay. Where did you find the videos at?
On YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah. Just
Where they buy?
How does Kodak make film?
Okay.
I actually think that was on the side of one of my on the suggested videos today that I seen. Because I spend 90% of my day at work on YouTube. So I'll look that up. How Kodak makes film. Okay. Actually, a quick little side note about Kodak. My stepdad, his dad worked at Kodak in New York, and he was a painter. His job was to go around and make sure everything stayed white. And he painted room after room, day after day. That was what he did for years at the Kodak plant. He rode around on a Cushman scooter, which I actually have his Cushman scooter. But he rode around on a Cushman scooter in the plant, and that was how he traveled back and forth in the plant. And he painted the rooms white all the time because they continually repainted everything up there to keep everything clean and pristine where they worked on film and stuff.
Wow.
And they didn't have clean rooms back then.
No. And it's pretty cool though, because I actually have the Cushman scooter that he rode back then.
Cool.
It's in a shed up at the house here. All right.
Does it still run?
It does not at this point, but it could be made to run. It's all there. It hasn't been touched in quite a few years.
I don't understand why you haven't gotten right on that.
What?
To make it run.
Oh, because it's like number 5,000 on my list of things to do this week.
That's what I meant.
Beth, I have to ask, did you get your new computer?
I did.
I can
So
tell.
if it looks like I'm looking way up, that's because the camera is on the laptop, but I'm looking at
The
at
screen up top.
Zoom being on my external monitor.
You know that I could tell that you had your new computer, and you know how I could tell? Your video is cleaner than everyone else's on the page.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
Yep,
yeah,
You see it, Dennis?
yeah.
I can see it too. What kind of
Yeah.
computer did you get?
I got a new MacBook Pro with a pretty souped up innards and stuff like that, like 32 gigs of RAM.
Which processor did you get?
It's the M1, but
M1
it's not the
Max, right?
bottom M1.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. Is
up
it,
a couple.
is it blazingly fast?
I think it can handle much faster than On1 delivers,
Yeah.
because I click something in On1 and it's there already.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it the M1 Max?
Yeah,
Okay, so it's M1 Max with the 32 gigs. Okay.
yeah.
Mine's the M1 Max with the 64 gigs.
Oh, okay.
So I figured if I was going to buy it, I was buying everything that they could offer me. So I bought it.
Yeah.
But
They offered you a 17-inch screen. Oh, no, that was not M1 Max. I'm sorry. I'm just, okay.
okay. Margie was
32
looking
was
for-
as high as I could
Oh,
go
Gosh,
with the number of cores that I did.
yeah.
But I'm not
Yep.
sure.
Yeah.
There is another photographer that I think that you all would really enjoy. And he does have videos out, and I've bought several of his books. It's Eric Curry, Curry.
Okay.
He's paints with light is what he's known for. And he will actually use different lighting setups, and he will take a part of a car here, a part of a car here, a part of a car here, and then he puts them all together. But he lights each piece of that car, plane, or whatever. And he uses flashlights, he uses strobe lights, he uses all kinds of different lights. And it's just amazing. I have always enjoyed it because of his pictures are so fantastic. He's got a lot of different videos up too.
I've showed his videos several times.
Yeah, didn't we watch him light like a VW bus type thing or
I
something?
think so.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did
5 years ago?
We did a couple of them, a couple of his. We did a train too.
Yeah, he
It's
was
a big-
really, really cool.
Yeah.
He is. He really is. So for those who are not familiar with him, I would suggest to go ahead and just bringing him up, looking at some of his videos, looking at some of his images. And like I said, I even bought his books because he is so good.
This is him
Yeah,
here.
I think the fire truck we watched.
I don't know if we watched the fire truck or not. I know we did the train, and I know we did this bomber before,
Okay.
E-25 bomber.
Yep.
But yeah, he's got some really, and this one here, painting with light, the
That's
Airstream
the,
trailer.
yeah, that's the
That
one.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I've watched it. I've watched several of his videos.
And he tells you in the book, I know the video, but I'm looking here at the book and it's on the cover of his book. So, I really, really like him.
There's a fellow here in Uniontown that I've ran into that he does photography and he does light painting of trains. And I don't know how he's managed to get the access that he does, but he does some beautiful light paintings of trains that are still being used and stuff like that. So as I run into him from time to time, I kind of know where he works. So I run into him here and there. And I've been working on trying to get him to let some of us maybe join in sometime when he's doing one of those.
Ooh, that'd be neat.
He does some really cool stuff. And I've known him for quite a while. I just didn't know he did photography till recently. And then I started finding out what he was doing, and he's pretty good. So as I work with him or work on him, and as far as trying to get some of us involved with him, I'll let you know. But I think it'd be a cool opportunity to go see someone actually light paint a train, or
Oh, yeah.
participate and take pictures during it. But he does light, and he does some really nice stuff. So I'll let you know about that when I have more information. All right.
It'd be nice to get him maybe as a speaker, and we can go out and watch him, as one of the meetings.
I'll see as I talk to him. Like I said, I know him. I've known him about 2 years now, but I didn't know he did photography till recently. So
Yeah.
I'm kind of working on that off of
Okay.
him. All right. Anything else? All right. So I'm going to post the Christmas party photo contest on Reddit for you guys.
When the deadline is and how,
When do you want the deadline to be there, Margie?
I would just as soon it just be at the end of the month, like with the other one. We'll have two of them, one for the regular WPS photo, and then another photo contest for, the
Okay.
same time in 3 days to vote.
All right.
It'll be easier.
All right. That's what it'll be. The deadline will be at the end of the month.
That may give me enough time to do something.
Yep. And that you had to have been at the Christmas party to participate.
Correct.
Okay.
And we know who you are.
Anything else?
We had about 25 people, 24, 25 people that night. So we had a nice turnout.
It was a nice party.
Thank
Yep.
you.
Very
Y'all-
nice.
Y'all really did great.
I'm disappointed I wasn't there. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. We ate your food.
Yep.
Margie ate all the fudge.
I was just going to say, you ate the fudge.
Yeah, nobody had fudge. I had it.
All right, Brian, I had enough green beans for 1 day of leftovers.
Yeah.
You
I was in no
did
shape to be anywhere. So, all
Thought
right.
you were MIA.
What's that?
I said, we just were worried that you were MIA.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of was. I was dead to the world for that day. So, all right. Well, if there's nothing else, we're just about 9 o'clock. I
You
think
might want to catch up with those for next Sunday, for those who just came on, that what we're doing, what we're not doing. We're doing.
Sunday.
Oh, next Sunday, the 18th, we have canceled the trip to Kennywood because we're not allowed to take tripods in there or bags. And because it's going to be cold, Margie doesn't want to go to anywhere.
That's right.
But we have decided to go to the aviary if anyone is interested. I'm going to put out an email and ask for people to let me know if anyone's going or interested in going for next Sunday. And if I get a couple people that say they're going, I will, post up that they're to where to meet and that kind of stuff. I will not be there next Sunday. I'll be out of town. Like I said, I'll be up towards New York Sunday, so I won't be around.
I'll be at work.
But I'll see if I get some people that say that they want to go, I'll post an event for that to go up there, to go to the aviary. And in January, we're going to do a walk to FIPS, and do one of them where we go a little bit later in the day and go and hang out and check out the lights in the evening. So we'll figure out what day that's going to be shortly.
And the officers meeting will be the
Officers
8th of
meeting,
January, starts at 2.
8th of January, starting at 2. Annie, think you can make that, or are you off of mandatory 24-hour a day work?
Yeah, in January, but Annie's got a few other couple court dates and things coming up too, so
Well, that's a
I'm
Sunday.
not sure. No, I know that, but I should be able to make that, but I'm just saying there's probably gonna be a couple of things I won't be able to make the next couple months, because I
Okay.
have other requests I have to do.
All right.
So we all keep our fingers crossed. Danny will be divorced, hopefully by February.
That'll be a joke.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, if that's it, if no one else has anything, I am done for the evening.
All right.
I'm gonna go home. I'm still at work, so. All right, guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Oh, Brian,
Yeah, yeah,
Night, everyone.
Brian,
yeah.
you're on my crap list because of that Subaru. You never told me it was fully loaded. I would have went in there, traded my car in and taken it home.
I tried to tell you that whenever you said
You-
you weren't interested in
You
another
said,
car.
you said it was white. I don't like white. You said leather seats. I hate leather seats. And you also said it had 50K. Mine's only 34K. That's all you said. You didn't say, but Margie is fully loaded
too
plus.
Bad.
You wouldn't let me say anything else. You told me you weren't interested in it.
Well, you should have got that in there. The salesman would have said, Margie, shut up, listen to me. It's fully loaded.
Speaking of
Too
that,
bad. You snooze, you lose.
speaking of the Subaru, how does Terry like it?
Unfortunately, she loves it. I tried to tell her I'll take it and then she can get her little SUV she wanted, but she's not giving it back. So
Mm,
if you come across another car like that, then you, Subaru, of course, you better tell me all details.
I will.
All right.
All
Okay,
right,
I'll
guys.
let y'all go.
All right. Good night,
Good
guys.
night.
Good night.